welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today let's talk about listening to he said, she said. Many of you all, including myself, have been victim of listening to other people's opinions about somebody else and not finding out for ourselves, and then just missing out on potentially good relationships, good friendships, or even being able to have good work environments because we're listening to what somebody else says, maybe somebody that we already feel close to, or somebody that's family, or somebody that maybe has had interactions with that person. So we just automatically assume that what they're telling us about that person is true. And sometimes we even get misled by believing that all these great things about that person is the same way that we will experience them if we connected with them. So it's very important that if you want to get to know somebody, you need to do it for yourself. Don't go around asking, oh, what did you hear about this person? How was it like when you were with this person? How is it, when you were friends with this person? How was things like? What are they like? What kind of things are they into? That's what we messed up when we listening to he said, she said, or we just listen to people, oh, so-and-so said this about you. Oh, so-and-so said this about so-and-so. And we keep that going, or we just hold that in, and we start to get resentful based off of what somebody else is telling us about somebody else. How many times, honestly, if you think back, just take a moment and just think of how many times have you had relationships that you felt was good, whether it was a romantic relationship or just a friendship, and somebody said, well, so-and-so said this about you, or maybe they mentioned something like that, but it was interpreted the wrong way by this other person, and that other person is the person's coming to you telling you what your boyfriend or girlfriend said, or what your friend or associate said, or even what one of your family members said, and then you hold on to that and you're angry because you don't want to tell this other person. You're like, okay, they told me, I don't want to put them in the middle of it, and so I'm not going to say anything because I'm not supposed to know. And then what happens is you go around with this snobby attitude, with this I don't care about you no more attitude, I'm cutting you off attitude because of what someone else said. Understand that we're all human, and you can say the same thing to me and two other people, and I guarantee you're going to get 3 different stories when you ask for it to be played back. So it's best to stop getting into that energy where you're like, okay, I'm just going to believe what this person said because this person's never lied to me, or this person doesn't have a reason to lie to me, or this person, they've been my friend longer, or they care about me, or they're my mom, they're my brother, my sister, so I'm going to listen to them. Stop doing that, because y'all missing out on real good relationships that could potentially be healthy, happy relationships and friendships, just because you're listening to someone else and you're not wanting to be mature enough to go about the situation where you're communicating that this is what I heard and I would like to talk about it. You just automatically believe in what somebody told you because it sounds like something that the other person will say, or it seems like it's the truth. But is it really the truth? If you don't ask, you don't know. I've had people do that about me too. Like, oh, I thought you didn't like me because so-and-so said that you didn't like me. I don't even know you. How do I not like you? Think about it. Sometimes we just need to use our common sense. I cannot dislike anybody if I don't know anything about them. You haven't done nothing to me. I don't know you. I barely know your name. I can barely explain. Somebody explain you to me. I'm not even going. You're not going to be the first person to come to my mind. So how can I dislike you? Or I've been in situations where people will be talking about somebody or a certain situation, and I may agree, but I may not say anything, and then all of a sudden my name is in the mix that I said this and I said that and I did this and I agreed with that and I said this person needs to leave this person and I said it, and it's not even the truth. But had the person asked me, they would know what the conversation was like, and they would understand that I didn't say this, or I didn't say that, or this was what I was agreeing to, or this is what I was listening to, or whatever. Sometimes we just need to get uncomfortable. Allow ourselves to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, to have those uncomfortable conversations. I know sometimes we don't want to put people in the middle of the stuff, but if that person feel like they need to come and tell you something, then they put themselves in the middle of it. and understand that. And if you need to tell the person that the situation is involving, then you don't have to necessarily use the other person's name. You could just say, it just came to my attention, this is what I heard. And if it's a pressing issue, then maybe all three of you need to sit together and talk about it. Or maybe you do need to expose who it was, so then you guys can figure things out. But you going around with your head hanging low and assuming the worst and thinking you know stuff and you don't know, and just not liking people just based off of he said, she said, believing he said, she said nonsense, giving your power and your energy up to things that may not even be real. You're walking around a whole attitude over something that somebody else may not even meant things that way. They may have said, I like that dress, but I don't like that dress on her, because I feel like that dress it's not complimenting her shape well. It's a nice dress. She looked nice, but I feel like she would have looked better with maybe tighter fitting or looser fitting material or a different color. And then someone else may come and tell you, oh, so-and-so said you look bad, you look horrible in that dress, it was ugly on you, you look fat, you look super skinny, it looked like you was wearing your sister's dress. The list can go on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to make too big of a point about it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying that y'all need to cut it out. And me too. I listen, oh, they said what? Or I believe, like if someone's coming to me with their relationship problems, I'm believing the person is telling me everything and not even taking into consideration there's also another side to the story. I'm believing that person's telling me, like, why would they have to lie? Like, that's a horrible person. I would never, or that person just doesn't even deserve you. Like, that's terrible. Like, I can't believe they talk to you like that. I can't believe this. But a lot of times when we go and tell our business to other people, especially when we tell it free-willing, when we tell it, in a sense of, help me in a situation, a lot of times we miss a few pieces that helps us to help the other person really put the story together and understand that maybe more than likely that person played a part into that situation as well. And a lot of times people leave that part out. They just want sympathy, or they just want somebody to agree with them in the moment. And so I have had times where my friends and things have told me things about people that they were dating, and it made me dislike the person that they were with. Like, seriously dislike them. And even though they moved on and still wanted to be with the person, I was still stuck in, I don't really like that person for you because they did this and this and this to you. And the whole time, it may have been some stuff left out. And I've even had friends that come back and say, oh, I did do this, I didn't say that, because in the moment I was just so angry. So just be careful with the he said, she said. If you want to find out something, get to the bottom of something, go to that person yourself and ask. I've worked with supervisors that I didn't like because other people was like, oh, they're horrible people. And then they turned out to be spectacular, nice, kind sweethearts to me. Just because that's somebody else's experience doesn't mean you need to take it on as it's going to be your experience. And stop listening to what other people have to say. If you have not experienced it, if you have not witnessed it, you need to stop believing the nonsense that other people have to say about someone else. Because you don't know why that person may have treated that person that way. You don't know why that person saying that was their experience with that person. You don't know. But that was just my little spill on it, y'all. That's just something I was just thinking of, because it's just, just the constant gossiping, men and women both equally. I feel like we all just do gossiping, and a lot of times we don't even know what we're talking about half the time. We just talking about stuff, and then the other people we're telling stuff to, they're getting feelings and they're all in their emotions about things, and they're not being adults and going to the person that the issues about. Y'all get the point. But just try to steer clear of that. And if you're not willing to talk to the other person and to really get an understanding, then if somebody's trying to call you what he said, she said, just block it out or say no. I prefer not to hear that. Because you're lowering your energy, you're vibrating on a lower energy by sitting back, holding, being hostile, having attitudes, feeling some type of way, feeling like you just want to be revengeful and all that kind of stuff towards somebody else just because of what you heard about them, or because of what someone else said about them, or what someone else's experience was with them. But that's my spiel. Y'all let me know what you think. Add to it, please. I know you guys got something to say. Let's just be polite and courteous, because that's always somebody, including myself, is always reading your messages, always reading your responses. So we just want to make sure that we're being polite and courteous and uplifting. And we want to make sure that we're not just trying to be negative and tear people down, because that's not what this channel is about. We're here to help each other evolve, help each other grow, and help each other find happiness and peace in this thing called life. So y'all let me know what you think, and we will talk next time. Bye.